When people can no longer trust the institutions of modern civilization, that civilization falls. The outrage, riots, and looting over the death of George Floyd are a gigantic assault on that confidence. Unfortunately, trust in these institutions has been eroding for decades. Corruption and mismanagement have completely damaged our confidence in the government and even the police. And our educational institutions have undermined the idea of what it means to be an American. And it all sounds like the run-up to the French Revolution. Welcome to the Shockcast. I'm John Little, recording on a very warm Tainan evening on Thursday, June 4th, 2020. Before going on, hit subscribe and click that bell to receive a notification when the next Shockcast happens. And if you like what you hear, hit that like button. All of that really helps get visibility for Mega Shock and the Shockcast, and if you didn't like it, well, you know what to do. And if you want to help keep Omega Shock alive with a donation, there's a link below that will help you do that. And I am deeply, from the heart, grateful for all the prayers and donations that have come in. You are keeping Omega Shock alive, and I am thankful. Also, subscribe to The Shock Letter and receive my articles in your inbox at theshockletter.com. You can also find my posts on Facebook and Twitter. I have 2 books that you can read for free. They are called When Jacob Returns and Ezekiel's Fire. You can find links for all of that below. Now let's get back to today's topic. Jacobins in the Night and the Fall of America. Anyone who knows anything about the French Revolution knows that you do not want a French Revolution. Unfortunately, there are elements in American society who want just that. They want blood in the streets and a well-used guillotine on every corner. They call themselves by many names such as Antifa or Democratic Socialists, but they're just Jacobins wanting to recreate the reign of terror led by Maximilien Robespierre. These violent thugs even proclaim their allegiance to violence in their very own magazine called Jacobin. And if you go to their About page, you'll find this, under Raison d'être. Jacobin is a leading voice of the American left, offering socialist perspectives on politics, economics, and culture. The print magazine is released quarterly and reaches 50,000 subscribers, in addition to a web audience of over 2 million a month. Close quote. Right. They claim to be a leading voice of the American left, and their identification with the murderous Jacobins tells you everything that you need to know about what they want. Blood in the streets and well-used guillotines on every corner. Do you think that I'm exaggerating? Well, take a good hard look at what Project Veritas has been uncovering.
I'm an anarcho-communist.
Pretty much anarcho-syndicalism.
There's a lot of me's in the Bernie campaign. If Bernie doesn't get the nomination in Milwaukee, we're murdered.
Trying to attract truly radical people.
I walk into that MSNBC studios, drag those motherfuckers up by their hair and light them on fire in the streets.
I'm ready to start tearing bricks up and start fighting.
It's going to take militancy.
I'm already on Twitter following numerous groups around the country that are ready to organize.
Like Antifa, yellow vests, all that, but keeping that in the back burner for right now.
I'll straight up get armed. I want to learn how to shoot and go train.
I canvass with someone who's an anarchist.
I'm an anarcho-communist. I'm as far to the left as you can possibly get.
I canvass with someone who's more of a Marxist-Leninist.
I'm a communist that believes in pretty much anarcho-syndicalism.
Gulags are actually meant for like
re-education.
A lot of the stories we're told in the United States about the Gulag are exaggerated.
Our prisons in the United States right now are far worse.
We have more people in prison in this country right now.
And that's kind of what Bernie's like, like, hey, free education for everybody, because we're going to have to teach you not to be a Nazi.
What will help is when we send all the Republicans to the re-education.
Greatest way to break a billionaire, go out and break rocks for 12 hours a day. You're now a working class person.
Let's force them to build roads.
We need a federal government and a labor movement that is working together to strip power away from capitalists and
like Bernie Sanders and a cabinet of people make all the decisions for the climate.
And if necessary,
just destroy property. After we abolish landlords, we don't have to kill them. You know what I'm saying?
That video is titled "We Warned You," #expose 2020. That's a collection of important clips from their 5-part series by Project Veritas that they call Expose 2020, where they went in undercover to expose the violent communists inside the Democratic Party, especially the ones campaigning for Bernie Sanders. And then here's a YouTube playlist that I created with those 5 videos. And I title it #Expose 2020 by Project Veritas. The titles themselves pretty much say everything. Sanders Campaign Part 1, Field Organizer, effing cities burn if Trump re-elected. Then, Sanders Staffer, there are things more important than the rule of law in USA. And then their third video, Second Bernie Staffer, I'll straight up get armed, guillotine the rich. And by the way, guillotine means chop their head off. Then 2 more Bernie staffers promote extreme action and property destruction. And then finally in their fifth video, Warren Staffer, no one gives an F about a pronoun. But my favorite video in the series is part 3. And that a Bernie Sanders campaign field organizer says this, quote, I'll straight up get armed. I want to learn how to shoot and go train. I'm ready for the effing revolution. I'm telling you, guillotine the rich. Close quote. How very Jacobin. Could it be that Bernie Sanders is the Maximilien Robespierre of the next American Revolution? It certainly sounds like it. And they want you dead. Very, very dead. So expect violence, lots of it. And every chance that they get, they are a terrorist organization determined to do as much violence and murder as possible to tear down the United States. But believe it or not, this attempt at another French Revolution is less of a problem than something else: the collapse of confidence. If the average American loses confidence in the institutions of society, society will fail. If Americans can no longer trust their neighbors or feel safe in their neighborhood, society will fail. And if confidence falls far enough, America will fail. All of this is on top of a concerted, decades-long attempt by activists, academia, public education, the mainstream media, and mainstream entertainment to undermine the national identity of the average American. Generations of Americans are now ashamed of their country for all the wrong reasons. And that destruction of identity will lead to an even bigger failure of the United States as a cohesive nation. The globalists will cheer at the idea of America's fall, not realizing that globalism itself will die alongside the death of America. When America goes under, the only thing left will be chaos and the complete destruction of any world order. And yes, the fall of America is a very real prospect. America came very close to falling to a fascist coup in 1933, after the Great Depression had already started. Were it not for the fact that they chose the wrong man to lead their coup, the last 80 years of history might have turned out differently. That coup attempt was called the Business Plot, and it was exposed by the most decorated Marine in American history up to that time, General Smedley Butler. Americans elected Donald Trump to be president of the United States precisely because of failing and falling confidence in their social institutions. When President Trump fails to reinvigorate flagging American confidence, will Americans abandon the experiment in Republican democracy that began in 1776? Will a socialist coup topple the American government? Will the left-leaning American states finally drive conservative Americans to break away from the Republic? A careful reading of the Bible prophecy should make it clear that the Antichrist will not rise until after the last great empire falls. So America cannot be as powerful as she is now when that happens. But if the Jacobins, who currently rule the night in the inner cities of America, if they're the ones who finally drag America under, my disgust at the utter stupidity of it all will be boundless. That's it for this Shotcast. If you appreciated this video, hit like. Then hit subscribe and that little bell. Also, leave a comment. I look forward to seeing what you have to say about what was said here. Your input is truly welcome. And again, if you want to help keep Omega Shock and the Shotcast alive, there's a link below that can help you do that. You can also get my articles and updates in your inbox through the Shock Letter at theshockletter.com. And read my books for free, When Jacob Returns and Ezekiel's Fire. They just might save your life.